We're live.
We're live! Hey! So,
I'm comfortable.
So
we're doing it live.
We're gonna avoid the whole coronavirus thing, I believe, and we're just gonna jump into.
That's the first thing you said. So,
or we can talk about coronavirus for 20 minutes. I mean, it's up
Or
to
we
you
can talk
guys.
about this very pretty dog that I have. Hello,
So, let's go ahead and do introductions. So, Travis,
Mark,
Derek,
Doug.
Logos.
and
Mouse pizza.
Oh, you talking about me?
Rashad.
Hey y'all, I'm here.
Rashad.
Rashad.
So,
You can hear me.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so we changed up our intro question last second. So we're gonna do your hall pass, but we're gonna switch it up. Gay guys have to pick a girl. Straight guys have to pick a guy. So Mark, go for it.
Okay, so mine is easy. It is Scarlett Johansson.
I had a feeling like you were gonna say that, and I don't know why.
Because I talk about her a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I love ScarJo, and I
Good
always
choice.
have. And yeah. Who's next?
not me. Somebody else needs to go.
I was talking about it before the show. Totally Keanu Reeves. I don't know what it is about him. He seems like such a gentleman, and I would do the hell out of him.
Hey!
And he could protect me because he's a badass. He'd fight for me.
And he loves dogs.
That's
and he's
right.
a dog lover, so yeah. Win. I can't think of anybody better.
Yeah.
Go for it, Doug.
I'm gonna say Daniel Craig.
Alright.
Only
Why
for
is that funny?
Only for bragging rights. He gets it.
Oh, okay.
Only
Mr.
for
Bond
bragging
himself.
rights. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of that.
Yes, so y'all have to know. So we were talking about Daniel Craig at work because Doug's fiance Jennifer and I think
She said
Daniel
LOL.
Craig is gorgeous and sexy as hell. And you think he's a butterface, right?
He
I
is
do
a
a
butterface.
I do from here up. It's city miles.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question.
So true.
Would you be the bottom or the top?
Wait, that's a second question.
That's okay. That's
You
how I
know
roll.
follow-ups.
Let the man answer the
All
question.
right.
You know, I really don't know.
He doesn't know all the positions for gay guys.
Whatever, he so does. Yeah, you have to answer it, though. You have to go back.
I would totally be a bottom with Keanu.
Hey!
All right.
All right, Lucas.
This is so awkward.
Wait, Doug never answered.
Oh yeah,
He
top or
said
bottom?
he didn't know.
I think I'd be a top.
Okay, all right. That's fair.
Okay, Lucas, what girl do you pick?
I got.
Wait, what?
He said, "What girl?"
Oh, what the best show!
Oh,
Come on now.
Yeah. No.
I couldn't resist. It was right there.
Anyway, no. I don't know. I think that I would say that maybe like John Barrowman is a very attractive man.
Yeah,
That is
I
hot.
get that. Okay.
I'm here for that.
I'm actually kind of
You
jealous.
been to his
of
last
that.
Dragon Con thing that he did?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
really good with his fans. He does like the whole.
He is great with his fans.
Would you
Yeah,
picture
he's got a
him
really
wearing
big-
that dress when he came into the room?
I have not thought it through. I didn't even think all I thought of was like who an attractive man would be.
I think if you do it, you need to do him as a man, not in drag. But maybe that's drag phobic of me. I don't know.
But
What
yeah,
now?
he's got he's funny. He's got a good personality, and he's an attractive man. So yeah.
Sweet.
All right, Derek.
I'm still thinking Rashad gonna have to go.
You still have to answer the question.
I'll go.
Get your settings right.
So I think they're right this time. So there's this show, and please don't judge me. There's this show that Derek and I watch. It's called Work in Progress. And it's kind of cheating because she's a big old dykey lesbian. But
She's like almost a dude, is what you're saying.
if you just glance at her, you're like, oh, that's a dude. Oh, no, that's a woman. Her name is Abby McAnnie. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Nanny.
Yes.
So we gotta look that up.
So
No, you really don't want to.
she's a very manly looking woman.
How do you spell that?
ABBY. And then I think it's MCANA.
MCENANA.
Well,
Oh, it popped right up.
yeah, okay, there you go.
Oh my God!
That's almost cheating.
She is the CEO of Apple.
Yes. Totally a dude.
So it doesn't count. Yeah.
She has a vagina. She has a vagina.
So trans man doesn't count.
She.
Totally be Ultimate Universe Tim Cook.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
She's a little bigger than Tim Cook.
That's why
A
I said
little
Ultimate
bit,
Universe.
That's my pick. I'm
Okay,
done.
as I looked her up, here's a quote. When guys dream of lesbians, they're not thinking of me.
And let's every shot.
So it's a really good show if you haven't watched it. It's 30. It's not a big commitment. It's like 30 minutes, and there's not that many of them. It is twisted as fuck. But yeah. So okay.
Weird and rare.
All right, it's your turn.
That's awesome.
I need a pillow to cover my fat.
Don't act like it. Come on. I picked somebody. You gotta pick somebody.
I'm
Thank you,
I'm
babe.
thinking.
We're gonna play some Jeopardy.
All right, so do you want us to just jump to book club and come back?
Yeah, let's
No! Just pick someone.
Just
What
anybody.
woman do you think
Just
is
pick
hot?
somebody.
Gal Gadot.
Woman.
How about Gal
Gal
Gadot?
Gadot.
Wonder
I was
Woman.
gonna say Jennifer Lopez because I think she's hot.
Go for
She
it,
is
man.
hot.
J-Lo.
Okay. Jennifer
J-Lo?
Lopez, I get that.
I'm not mad.
Yeah.
As a straight man, that is a very good
Yeah,
answer.
That's a
yeah.
good
Good
choice.
answer.
And I would be the bottom.
Strap
She's
on!
gonna be strapping.
Peg
It's
it!
J-Lo, for God's sake.
Oh my gosh! All right,
All right.
We had a lot of fun with that one.
That was excellent.
So,
All right.
book club this week was Planetary by Warren Ellis. Who all got a chance to read it?
I got into it.
I'll say I didn't get through the entire first volume, but I got through like the first 4 or 5 issues.
In fairness, that's probably what I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I
just zip
mean,
through the end.
so whenever Chris posted this, he actually, he was one of the people that recommended it. And he did make the comment that they were kind of disconnected stories. Like, there wasn't a lot of continuity between them.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was just kind of all over the place. I mean, I actually
I
enjoyed
agree.
it, but the
It
story...
started slow
it
to me,
jumped, yeah.
and then it
Well,
got a little better.
It was kind of that first season of X-Files, where it's like you kind of had the monster of the week. So it's,
Yes.
I think that I
That's
haven't-
exactly-
But
that's a
kind
really
of
good way to
how I
put it.
feel. Like I feel like an overarching story is going to come in, and I went ahead and I found the omnibus for like $40. So I just went ahead and bought the omnibus.
How many were in this together?
The
Six.
the first
In that?
volume is
Yeah.
6 issues.
But it's like, it jumps
Yeah,
from...
it was very kind of episodic and,
Yeah.
and X-Files ish.
Well, it wasn't just even episodic. It was like, all right, you got Monster Island, and you got, all right, there's this multiverse that you're protecting from these people coming in, versus, oh, we found this system that's trying to get to another. It's a spaceship that's powered by people, and you're like,
Yeah. Hey,
okay, where are we going with this?
so
It's all
funny
different.
It
thing
was a
about
little all over
alternate
the place.
universe
Yeah.
is like. So I was reading that. that episode. I was reading that issue, and it got to that point, and I thought, wait, these are analogs for like Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
You know, and for
There's
some
analogs
reason,
for The Shadow
I thought
and Doc
for some reason I
Savage.
thought I was reading a Marvel comic. I forgot I was reading the DC comic. And I was like, how did they get the rights to all this? Like, when was this published? And I was like, oh yeah, DC.
I didn't. Let me just go ahead and say I didn't really like it.
No,
No, I thought it was.
I feel like that's what we were saying too in a way.
Oh,
no, I
mean,
I thought it was pretty well. I think it was pretty well crafted, but I just didn't care about. I didn't like the characters, the main characters, and
Yeah.
I really didn't care for the idea that their computer created this portal and then people came through and attacked. I thought that was just a weird plot point.
Especially
It-
being
it
like World
was.
War
I mean,
II
Yeah.
computer.
that was kind of the. I think that's.
They didn't make you
that's
care
the
about
shtick,
any of them,
though.
really.
No, you
Well,
know.
I guess I didn't want the shtick. I just thought it was dumb.
I will say,
Okay.
I like the mixing things up, but this issue really annoyed the hell out of me.
But because of the way they did that, or
It felt like I was like switching between a comic book and like a novel.
oh
and,
yeah,
And I was like, and it didn't. I mean, maybe I just can't follow novels that well because my brain doesn't think that linearly. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, reading it. I'm like, does this even relate to what I'm reading?
I get that because, you know, in the X-Men books, I loved it in House of X, Dawn of X, or whatever. I mean, in House of X, Powers of 10, how they had the prose interjected in.
Mhm.
But now I'm tired of it.
It gets
Because, you know,
old.
it's in the other books now, and it's like, ugh.
Well,
Do I need to read this letter? Is it going to have anything to do with the story? Like, do I have to read this right now?
Well, and I feel like it's got some meaning, and like X-Files, it
creative
has some meaning,
initially,
but it's
and then-
very distant. Like, hey, you might not get it right now, but if you keep paying attention to this later, you're gonna get it.
Exactly.
And I'm
that,
like, well,
that kind of
introduce
bugs
it when
me.
it makes sense to me.
So I think I've determined that I'm not a huge fan of Warren Ellis.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Because everything I've read, I'm not a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Because didn't he do that X-Men run that everybody loved that I hated?
I don't remember.
No.
Which one was that one?
Well,
The one where they all looked doughy.
That was
you're
quite.
talking about New X.
No, no, you're talking about Quietly?
That's
That's
Grant
Grant
Morrison.
Morrison.
Grant
Yeah.
Quietly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think I like either one of them. Didn't they do a book together?
I don't know, but that's I remember that's who that is. Morrison and
Yeah.
Quietly.
Okay.
Because I agree they did look doughy.
Yes.
It was a pretty good run though.
It was really good.
Well, that's what I hear. I just didn't like it.
Well, I think that as far as Warren Ellis goes, his best stuff is like Ocean with Chris Sprouse, which is a 6-issue story, and then Orbiter when he does that with I follow her on Twitter. Oh my God.
Maybe that should be a book club one time.
But
then.
like
'Cause I don't-
Orbiter's great. When Planetary was first out, everyone always told me to read it, and I remember reading it way back when, and I just got the first issue because I was like, I need to be reminded of what this was. And then after reading the first issue, I was like, okay, now I remember why I didn't pick this up
Mm-hmm.
because it failed the first issue test. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now I did read because weren't they? This one was related to Stormwatch. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of liked it.
See, all of his powers went into Stormwatch, and Planetary got the drippings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It did not. Planetary was supposed to be like Warren Ellis's dream Stormwatch project, and then Stormwatch was supposed to be like the company Wildstorm
Right.
like flagship title. And he did really creative stuff with that. Like there was a tit for tat that Warren Ellis did with Marvel and DC, where Marvel did like a all silent issue month or something like that. So Warren Ellis, like a couple months later, did his own thing, but he would always do it like in Stormwatch. He did one where Marvel had this thing where the whole book was like, every book was like nothing but splash pages.
I'm glad you.
He did that, and I actually have that issue. So Warren Ellis is really good when he puts all of his powers into the thing.
Got it.
He just has a lot of he had a lot of output during that time, and this was a part of it. And this was supposed to be something that was supposed to become like a TV or a movie later on, and everything. And it reads like that.
Yeah.
Because every single panel in there is like a movie shot.
Well, yeah, and like when the panel where like it was revealed that old dude Elijah Snow had power, it was like, oh yeah, did I not tell you? And that that was it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Well, speaking of full splash pages, this recent Jean Grey, Emma Frost, giant size was that, and
Let's save that for later. Let's keep talking about book club and finish it up.
I think we're finished with book club.
You were finished with book club.
Yeah, did anybody have anything else for book club?
No.
No,
So-
I enjoy
Oh,
it.
I do.
I will go back and read it later, but I don't know that it's like high on my list.
What else you got?
I think J-Lo's out.
Is she out?
Helen Mirren is in.
Helen Mirren.
I have a girl
Oh,
crush
Helen
on her.
Mirren.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now bottom or top?
Now that I've had the same,
Okay, alright.
she would be.
It makes sense.
Have you seen Red?
Helen
Come on
Mirren.
now. Helen Mirren would be the top.
No
she
doubt.
would totally be a
I
top.
was ready to say Helen Mirren is she's a top.
So we're taking a break from book club for next week. We were actually supposed to talk beforehand about how we want to do this, but next week we're going to go through and try to come up with our consensus of the best Marvel story across all the comics.
You mean like
that we've
arc?
read. Arc or
like story
or full
overall.
story, like
overall.
whatever you consider the story, either like a standalone graphic novel or an arc from a longer story.
All right.
Don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it
We
out.
always do.
We're